that it would not put it on the video. Oh, okay, that's the. I'm an idiot. It's the music from my other screen. Okay. Yeah. So I can't have music playing. Um, and I did this stream like super lazy. Like I have nothing going on with my camera. But I wanted to try this out. And it really stinks because you can't I can't go ahead and like multi-stream unless I do some other shenanigans. So yeah, that's a whole issue. I'm talking to the person that has the set. Dude, I'm gonna get copyright flagged for that 30 seconds of music. I can already. Ugh, so silly, dude. All right, hold on just a couple more moments while I get everything situated on my end. And we'll talk about these new cards. All right. So we'll go with that. I'm ready. I'm gonna have to like. I have no idea how it's gonna work, but whatever. I know I'm gonna get freaking copyright flagged, and it's gonna screw this whole thing up. But whatever. Whatever. All right. So moving on over. All right. Let's make sure that the window's good to go. All right. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, hey, Brad, what up? Dude, yeah, I would put my cam on, but honestly, like, it's super dark in here, and I don't feel like messing with it. And I gotta get everything ready, so. This is gonna be a pretty laid back. Just in case you guys haven't seen the new cards, maybe, you want to hang out a little bit. We can all just chill for a little bit, and, you know, just have a grand old time. But yeah, dude, I was really shocked to see them release the entire like preview, I guess. Dude, I need to make sure that I get the right window up. Yeah, okay. So that is correct. Okay, yes. Let's toggle that. We'll be good. We'll be good. Okay. So I need to get the chat popped up on my end. So go live, manager. You can tell I'm obviously used to streaming on YouTube. It's been a minute, dude. All right, let's make this window super small so I can have it up. Okay. All right, we're cooking. All right. Yo, what's going on, Youngin PPV or FPV? What's going on, S2? What's going on, Hello Duo? And then, yo, what's going up, CA? I don't know. I didn't say that right at all, but it's okay. I tried. All right, let's turn this down. But you guys can hear me all right, I'm assuming. And we can check out some of these cards together before we get to play with them next year. You killed it, the tournament hosting, Brad. It was A1. Dude, Ursi was great, man. 2 minute. Yo, what's going on, Chris? 2 minute opinion piece on trading before we dig into the set. Man, I mean it's like, look, I'm never gonna stand up for a company like or a corporation, you know, making more money as opposed to giving a better product. So I definitely understand the frustration of not being able to trade 2 stars. Now, on the flip side, right? Because, I mean, you do kind of want to try to be balanced and look at it from both sides. And it's pretty clear that, you know, there were people that were lined up to abuse the ability to trade 2 stars. And then there's like this whole black market that was going to pop up, and it still is going to be a thing. And, you know, that's probably not great. And it would really suck to like trade people for 2 stars and then like their account was a bot account and then now you're compromised. So I don't know, man. Like it's just tough. Honestly, I just hope that we can trade the new cards tomorrow so people can get the cards that they want to play. You know what I mean? Like I just want to be able to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest thing that I usually think about when it comes to stuff like this. Is like, please let me play the game. If I'm free to play, you know, give me opportunities to at least like grind my way to be able to play and stuff. But yeah, and then like I guess the other thing would be all the different currencies in the game. Like it's kind of like a running joke now, right? Like there's a currency for everything. There's a currency for playing in events. There's a currency for trading. There's a currency for wonder picks. There's a currency for packs. There's a currency for buying stuff in the events. Like, I mean, it's crazy, right? And the cost of trading is crazy, man. 23 diamond to trade a single EX seems like way too much. Yeah, there's probably, you know what? I'm going to wait for the math nerds to really come out and figure out like the best way to like optimize that. Cuz I bet you that there's like a good way to optimize that, right? Like there's got to be, right? It can't just be like we're getting bamboozled, right? But I do have like 7 Marshadow full arts in one of my accounts. So like I'm definitely ready to get rid of them. But yeah, man, I definitely feel that. And honestly, like some of the EXs in this set, like I want them ASAP. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think about the trades. I know a couple of you already kind of talked about it. I don't know, man. It's a no-win situation probably. 5 full art Marshadows to trade for an EX. That's crazy. Is that really true? Like I saw the chart, but I didn't pay attention to it. Honestly, I haven't thought much about trading outside of like the obvious and like what I just stated because I figure, you know, I got 1,000 something hourglasses, so I should be able to get most of what I want to try to play around with. But yeah, man. I definitely can sympathize. There's an empathize with people that are upset about it, right? Like no doubt. But hey, I got to get to this set cuz first of all, I don't want to keep you way too long and I got to talk about these cards cuz some of these cards are pretty crazy. So first off, I guess we'll go type by type. What's going on, Jose Plays? I usually have music in the background, but like YouTube, it's tough, man. But I figured I would give YouTube streaming a little bit of a shot again. And I have a playlist with like my free music. But you know, I don't it's all good. We're all friends here. So no cam. I'm being lazy. These are the new cards that are being released in about 24 hours. Dude, I know the free bangers are like they're bangers, dude. Okay, I will admit they are bangers. Maybe I can work something out. Let me see if I can. Do I have the playlist? Hold on, maybe I do. See, I've got the bangers playing in my head in my headphones right now. So like, I almost feel bad. And I don't know the volume either. Let's see. I got to turn on my hotkeys and I got to make it play. Let's see. Streaming Pokemon Pocket. Let's see. 3 or no. 3 and then 4. Okay. Wrong hotkey. Here we go, hotkey. Like right now, I'm listening to Travis Scott's Goosebumps, the remix, and I'm just like, yes, bro. But like, I play that on here, and I'll just get insta copyrighted, and like the stream will get taken down, and it's just like, let's not do that. Okay. Let's see. Hmm. And it's got the file, right? Oh, that's why. Okay, hold on. I think this is going to work. Hold on. Give it a sec. Dude, by the way, I'm seeing a little bit of the chat with like the thoughts on like Cyrus and stuff. Dude, it is super interesting. Super interesting. All right, let's see if we can get this to work. Bro. I'm going to sit here and troubleshoot for 5 more minutes if I keep at it. So I'm going to try one more thing and then we'll just move on because I am going to be talking pretty much the whole time. So we'll try one more thing here. Sources. Q4 playlists. Okay, here we go. 7. Okay. All right. So show it and then restart it. Okay. Didn't work. All right, we'll try one more thing here. Dude, I'm like, once I start on something, I'm like, man, I might as well try. Mute, unmute. Okay. So that's the Q4 playlist. And then okay, so we need to hit 3 and oh, dude, I feel like it almost started there. Huh. I feel like it's so close to starting and then it's just like for whatever reason, like maybe I'm just like it's been a while since I've used this though. Okay, let's try 7. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna keep messing with my audio and it's gonna screw something up. So unfortunately, I think we're just gonna have to be without even the free music. There's like hotkeys and stuff that I have to figure out, and I haven't set them up in like a really long time. And so for whatever reason, it's just like not working. And honestly, like, this is just another reason why I need to get a new computer. Dude, like I have a MacBook and it's the worst. Okay, so we're just gonna get into the cards. Oh, there's Echo now. Even better. See what you guys made me do. See what you made me do. Now I gotta. Oh no. Alright, give me a sec. Hold on. Was the free music really working? Because that would be kind of lit if it was. That would be lit. I don't think it was, but no way, dude. The free music was working. Oh man. All right. Well, we'll roll with it. I couldn't hear it on my end. Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it. It's really quiet. Chat, we are cooking. Yo. This is the old playlist too, bro. This got a lit, bro. All right, yo. Let's go, dude. Okay. So let me make sure I got chat. Okay, which pack you pull in? ADHP is in bad tank. Show card or we riot. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. If I skipped over something important, just let me know, okay? But let's get to it. So we're gonna go type by type. I'm not sure what pack I'm picking first, and you're gonna help me decide, okay? So like, let's keep track of the cards that I really want to try, and then we're gonna try to figure out which pack they're in. Okay. All right. So like, work with me. Okay. And maybe this helps you figure it out too, because we do have the sets broken up. So starting with the grass types, I do think that the Oddish and the Gloom are probably an update over the Genetic Apex partners. Let's pull up Genetic Apex just to have reference. For example, okay. Ooh, actually. Yeah. Give me Apex Oddish. Apex Gloom, 40 damage. Okay, so give me Apex Oddish and Smackdown Gloom. I don't think that Blossom is like something that's going to be crazy good. It's not like it's just like not very good in the open format. Maybe it could have some play in some of the like no EX formats. Like, dude, Blaine's Ninetales has really fallen off, so that could definitely be a possibility. And if you like playing these alternative formats, no EX is definitely something that a lot of people have fun with. Tangela and Tangrowth. So I don't know the Tangela off the top of my head, so let's take a peek at that as well, because I'm pretty sure there's a Tangela. Okay. Yeah, so let's check this out. 40 damage, heal 10 for 2, 30 damage for 2. Is it Glacier? Yeah, I'm taking the Apex one, right? It's got 2 retreat, but I'm taking the Apex one. As far as Tangrowth goes, 4 energy for 90 damage, heal 30. So it's like a mini Venusaur, right? It's like a stage 1 Venusaur, which is kind of fascinating, right? But the problem is, like, let's just say that you pair this with like an Executor EX. I think it's just like still a little too glassy. Like Arcanine just destroys it. And Incineroar obviously destroys it, which Incineroar is something that we'll have to spend a few minutes talking about. Okay. Let's keep going. So we've got Yanma and Yanmega, which the big thing that people are noticing about this card. Yeah, and Venusaur. Well, like, you know, Venusaur does have like a mini, but Tangrowth is a stage 1, right? Like that's going to be the big trade-off there, right? You're getting a stage 1 that does arguably what Venusaur does, right? But what Yanmega EX does have some cool synergy with Dialga, which is really interesting. And it's, you know, a stage 1, which is another big perk, right? Like, dude, they kind of went hard on the stage 1s this set. Like, stage 1s finally got some love. And, Infernape is what I'm talking about. But Yanmega definitely is something that I think might see some play in Dialga with Dialga. But again, like, Infernape is just really interesting, and Arcanine is still a thing. So I don't know how I feel about grass types right now, unless they have like 160 HP. That's kind of like the big thing, right? And even if they have 160 HP, you're still at risk from Infernape. Yeah, Infernape, not Incineroar. I got to keep thinking about that. Let's see, Roselia and Roserade.
2 energy for 50 damage, and it poisons. So 100 HP is not bad. 2 retreat. I just don't think that it's like good enough for the open format. Just statistically speaking, like it's just kind of, it's not really thick, right? Not a lot of HP. The attack isn't necessarily spectacular either. And then obviously it's a grass type with 100 HP. So yeah, I don't think that it's very good. I would be very surprised to see that get played. Torterra, Frenzy Plant, 4 energy for 150, but it can't use that attack next turn. Kind of interesting. But again, like, that condition is kind of backbreaking when you take a look at the the energy cost for retreating, right? So like that's kind of a big turnoff for me. I don't think Torterra is very good. Like I would probably just rather play Venusaur, even though Venusaur doesn't hit as hard, right? So out of these first 2 rows of cards, I think the only playable card realistically is probably Yanmega. And even that is a little dicey, right? Even that's a little dicey. Looks like Torterra needs still energy too. No. I think it's probably just my screen being poopy. I think it's all just grass, right? Yeah, in mid. Somebody said Wheezing, Rocky Helmet, Darkrai. Yeah, dude. Hey, we're gonna talk about that for sure. I like Darkrai and Weevil actually. I like Darkrai and Weevil. Someday they will find a way to put Incineroar with Intimidate in the game. Dude, that sounds good. No Empoleon EX. Dude, so that's another thing that I noticed about this set, right? That they completely broke the trend of like every starter getting an EX. So let's kind of keep going through this, by the way. So Kricketot and Kricketune. The only thing that's going to catch your eye is the fact that it confuses, right? Like the Kricketune. But I think outside of that, it's kind of like mid. You know what I mean? It's like, and then when you say 3 for 120, yeah, I mean, and like the thing about the 3 for 120 from Machamp is like on curve, it's pretty good. And it's got a little bit more HP than Yanmega, but Yanmega is a stage 1. Like you can't forget the fact that it's a stage 1, right? Like that's not bad. And they're all colorless. So like if there's ever a time where you needed or wanted to splash a stage 1 grass type to get the benefit of Erica, well, I mean, now you can do it, right? Burmy and Wormadon. So there's going to be multiple versions of Wormadon, I'm pretty sure, from what I remember. And I mean, Wormadon is just kind of like not very good. 3 energy for 60 damage. And then, if you flip a coin and hit heads, it does slightly more damage. What is it? 30? Yeah, 30 more damage. And it's just not a very good card, right? Like nobody's thinking, oh my god, dude, I cannot wait to play Wormadon deck. Like, oh yeah. Vespiquen, 100 HP, 2 energy, does 70. It's kind of like a miniature. It's kind of like a miniature Beedrill, right? Kind of like a miniature Beedrill. But like the thing is, it has like extra energy cost, extra retreat cost. Call for Family is really interesting though. For colorless energy, put 1 random basic Pokemon from your deck onto your bench. So this is a really fascinating Pokemon because like if you've played the TCG, you may have heard of Dunsparce. And Dunsparce was a colorless Pokemon that allowed you to like go search your search your deck for like up to 3 bench Pokemon. So like that, and then you could switch it. So that card saw a little bit of play. I don't know where Combee really fits though. It kind of makes your Pokeball worse as well. Maybe you're not playing Pokeball because you're playing Pokemon Communication. I don't know, but Combee, maybe there's something to it, but right now I don't think that there is. Rounding out the rest of the grass types, we got Carnivine, which is a 90 HP basic, 3 energy attacker that you should probably ignore. Next, we'll talk about Leafeon. Leafeon's actually fascinating. Leafeon allows you to have some early tempo with grass types. That is something that typically you only see with something like an Exeggutor EX, right? So I think that like turn 1, let's just say that you go second and it's your turn 1. Well, if you have Eevee, you're potentially dealing 20 damage with that Eevee, maybe 30 damage with a new Eevee. Who knows? There's a whole bunch of different Eevees. But you do that damage with Eevee, and then the next turn you slap down your Leafeon. All of a sudden you've done 120 damage, 111 damage. That's not bad, right? So I do think that there may be something to Leafeon. You just have to figure out a way to play it along something else that is not an expensive attacker, right? Like I think the grass tempo deck is just going to play a bunch of low cost attackers. And if that's the case, then Leafeon could definitely fit right in. I don't know. That's just kind of a thought. Leafeon could definitely be something to cook with, right? Now, Mo Rotom, 80 HP basic, 2 energy attack, 30 damage. You flip a coin. If heads, you discard a random energy. Probably not playing that, right? And then Shaman. If you want to play like one of those troll decks that heals like a bunch of HP every turn, Shaman and Butterfree are going to be right up your alley, right? With the Pokemon ability, once per turn, you're going to be able to heal 10 damage from each of your Pokemon. So, and this does stack. So if you have multiple Shamans, you're going to be healing multiple rounds of 10. And like that actually may be kind of relevant, especially if like Cyrus, really gets really popular, and maybe you want to play around Cyrus, so you build a deck with Shamans. But I don't think that it's necessarily like great. I think it'll just be one of those like fun cards, right? So getting back to the chat, stand by. I think the update is live. Okay. I've used Caterpie. It doesn't really feel worth the deck space. Combee isn't limited to grass though. Yeah, exactly, right? Like you can play Combee in any deck because it's a colorless attacker. So that's kind of interesting. But again, like you have to ask yourself, like, what basic Pokemon do you need that bad? Like, is it Dialga? Is that it? And even if you do Dialga, like, you still need it like 2 turns to power it up. So I don't know. I've learned so many card synergies thanks to you. Yeah, he really does. Hey man, I appreciate you. Thank you. I hope that a lot of people can take something away from these videos and stuff like this. So it means a lot for sure. Maybe some other type has a use. Shaman could be an anti-Spiritomb. Yeah, for sure. Hey, like if we ever drafted this set, Shaman would probably be a very high pick, right? Because you're probably not going to get a lot of bombs in a draft, right? Or in a cube. So Shaman could be that Pokemon that helps you stay out of, 2-hit KO range, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely some spice there. If you open the card page, we're going to talk about that. But right now I'm just trying to keep track of like what cards I want. And then we'll look at each pack page and figure out like which pack I want to go for first. It says update is 12 a.m. Yeah, that makes sense. Tomorrow, yeah. So we're about 24 hours away. Maybe Dark, since it'll use a lot of low energy attackers, for sure. Yurgi, thanks for the content. No, thanks for coming in here, man. Thank you. So let's get to the fire types. So the fire types, we got a new Magmar, and that art is sick, dude. That art is sick. Look at this art. That Magmar looks sick, dude, for sure. Unfortunately, it's a little weird, right? Take fire energy from your energy zone, attach it to this Pokemon. So, maybe there's something to playing this in a Infernape deck where you can basically attack with this once and then you have 2 energy on it. So that way, like, when the time comes and you need to reload your Infernape, you use that supporter that allows you to move a energy from your bench to your active. Like I could see it being somewhat of like a battery, right? So maybe that's some synergy that I could see with Magmar. But dude, the Magmar looks fire, dude. I mean, that's one of the best Magmar arts I've ever seen. The Magmortar leaves a lot to be desired. 130 HP, 3 retreat cost, and it's gonna deal 100 damage, but it's gonna burn your opponent's Pokemon. And burn stays there like until your opponent flips heads on their Pokemon, and it deals 20 in between turns until they flip heads, if I remember correctly. There is one issue with Magmar as well. Like it costs 2 to retreat, so you're gonna need to figure out a way to like play Leaf in that deck as well. Trading is definitely live. Trading is live if you update the app. Each copy of Dawn would fuel 1 more Infernape attack. Exactly. Yeah. Burn is not bad. And by the way, if you need to check up on Burn and Confusion, open up the app, and I believe you hit the bottom right waffle, and you hit tips, and it'll tell you like the status conditions. So that'll help you as well. So Slugma, there's some really bad joke there, but Slugma, 70 HP basic for 1 energy, deals 20 to retreat. Probably not playing that, to be real honest. Mag Cargo just doesn't really do much. I mean, 30 damage and then 20 for burn is not bad for 2 energy, but I just don't know that it's like good enough to actually play. Like that's the issue, right? Like I don't know that it's actually good enough to play in like an open format deck. Now, if you're playing like no EX or some special rules tournament, maybe it's worth looking at, but right off the bat, I don't think that it's probably very good. Infernape EX is definitely a contender. And it's a contender because they made a supporter that allows you to switch energies to it. Like that's the biggest reason, right? So you have to figure out, what are you going to play with Infernape? What's going to be Infernape's partner? The line that Infernape has, 60 HP, 80 HP, and they're both attacking for 1 energy. So that's very good. And then the other thing that's really sweet about Infernape is the free retreat. So what are you playing with Infernape, right? Like that's the question you got to figure out. What's the partner for it? Does the burn damage happen before or after the coin flip? I think it's automatic and then the coin flip happens. I think that's how it's worded. Yeah, I think that's how it's worded. When do we think the update will go live? Should be live in like 24 hours from now. We should see all these cards in the game, maybe even a little bit, but we won't be able to open packs until 24 hours from now. The Heat Rotom, 80 HP basic, 1 retreat, so that's not terrible. But the attack it costs 2 energy and it's only going to deal 30 unless you flip heads. So, yeah. Not great. Probably just like more of a filler card, right? All the Rotom cards are all awful. I wonder if they'll get some support. Yeah, I mean they're the only one that's like maybe got a shot is the electric one. Maybe. And probably not, right? Like you're probably not playing that. I'm thinking Genetic Apex, Rapidash is good for Infernape. Yeah, like it needs a good cheap attacker to pair with it. Or you just play it like alongside Moltres and Arcanine. But like you're basically, instead of playing Arcanine and Charizard, you're playing Infernape and Arcanine. And I don't know if that's better. Yeah, I think that they patched the Wonder Pick thing. I think they patched it. I kind of talked about it a little bit in my video earlier today, but that video was also like 30 minutes long, so I don't blame you for not watching it or remembering it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that they did that. Are there even any 0 retreat fire cards? Infernape has got to be the only one that I know off the top of my head. And I think most of the other ones are 1 retreat. As far as like the non-EXs. And then Arcanine, Moltres are 2 retreat for sure. They're 2 retreat because I know that they have good synergy with Leaf. But yeah, they definitely patched that Wonder Pick thing, man. And that sucks. I get it. Mamoswine is kind of tanky, 160 HP, and then it's got that thick fat. Pause for a second. Yes, that's what they called it. Thick fat. They could have called it thick fur. They could have called it thick, body. Oh, that's probably not any better. Thick wool. I mean, they could have called it a bunch of things, but they said, hey, let's put thick fat on 2 of these cards, right? Not just the Mamoswine, let's put on the Piloswine too. It's an interesting card, but it's just so expensive, right? Like you really need Misty, but the bulk is nice, man. I mean, it takes less damage, right? I think it's 20 less damage for the Piloswine from fire and water types, and then the Mamoswine is 30 less damage for fire and water. So there you go. Oh, thick fat is from the mainline games. That's hilarious that they named it, right? That's hilarious. Thick fat is the actual. That's hilarious. I did not know that though. I did not know that. Obviously, I haven't played. The last Pokemon game I played was like Ruby and Sapphire. That was the last game I played. Ruby and Sapphire. But the new pack should be out in 24 hours. So about technically 23 hours and like 49 minutes. Regice. So just in case you guys can't read these, I'll try to click on some of these because I know that some of these maybe you haven't read. But this is 110 HP basic. For 2 energy, it does 50. But the ability, and all of the Regis have abilities, except like I think the colorless one. So Reggie says prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponents done to this Pokemon. So it doesn't prevent damage, but it prevents sleep, confusion, burn, paralyze. It prevents all those. And it does have a weakness to steel, but in a 2 retreat cost. Again, probably not playing that card a lot, but it's a pretty cool little handy card. I just don't think that it's probably, I don't think it's worth like putting in your deck for like open format. Maybe in some of these other niche formats, maybe. But right now, I would probably stay away from Regice right now. Yeah. So trading right now, just make sure you update your phone. You got to update your app. So go to your app store, whether it's Google or iOS app store. Make sure to update the app. Once you update the app, trading should be very available for you. And the new packs, like I said, 24 hours from now. And dude, hey Billy, stick around for the dark types, because I am with you on Weevil. Not sure about Spiritomb. I think I like Darkrai better, but I can see where you're going with that. So let's talk about Empoleon. Empoleon is a stage 2 Pokemon, 150 HP, weak to electric types, 2 retreat cost, but the attack is 80 damage and it's going to deal 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I kind of like that, but at that stage of the game, I don't know how much that 30 damage is going to really matter. So like, it's not terrible, but it's probably just like not good enough, right? Like if you're playing a no EX water deck, then maybe you play Empoleon. But I would argue that you should probably just play Gyarados, right? Just play the base Gyarados. Play a stage 1, get more room in your deck, right? Like that's what I would probably go with. Weasel and Floatzel, just kind of both forgettable cards, right? Although Floatzel is going to be 30 damage plus maybe 30 more for 1 energy, but again, just not very. I don't think anybody's rushing to play Floatzel, even though it's got a cool looking art. Gastrodon, 120 HP, and it's a stage 1. For 3 energy, it's going to deal 60 damage and then 22 one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So like kind of like a discount Empoleon, right? But a big retreat cost and a weakness to electric. So probably not in a rush to play that. So this is a card that I was actually kind of curious to compare. Is this Finneon better than the Finneon that we have? So 50 HP, flip a coin, if heads, prevent all damage and effects next turn. That's done to this Pokemon. So let's really quickly do this. I want to make sure that I check this. Okay, is this Finneon better? Okay, I'm probably playing the old Finneon. Yeah, and the reason why I probably am playing the old Finneon, like the one from Mythical Islands, because it's just slightly bulkier, and that actually might matter. So yeah, probably playing the old Finneon. So probably not a direct upgrade there. As far as the Lumineon, so 50 damage for 1 energy. Dude, that's kind of decent. It's kind of decent. I could see that being played in the no EX format, for sure, right? Like, I could definitely see that being played in the no EX format. Not sure open format's going to be good enough. I think you probably going to want something better. But, I mean, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I just don't think it's got... Right now, as the time of me reading this and not being through the entire set, probably not into it, right? Probably not into it. By the way, let's you have to manually update it in your store for sure. Bench damage is pretty important to single card targets with Cyrus. Yep, I agree. Weird that they gave Spiritomb a grass bug weakness when it's only weak to fairy in game. Which is psychic here. We should be down to psychic here in a little bit. I like the other Finneon for emergency stall button if you really need it. And then the 10 HP. Yeah, I agree, really. I think that the 10 HP is tricky because, like, you got Rocky Helmet, you got Farfetch'd, you got stuff like Honchkrow that may be a thing, even though it will be pretty... You got to get a little unlucky to get your Finneon sniped by a Honchkrow. And then even stuff like Zebstrika, maybe, if you're unlucky, so... So Snover and Abomasnow. When I looked at Abomasnow, it's just too much. Like, it's just too many energies all around, right? Snover, though, if your opponent's active Pokemon has a fighting type, this is going to deal 30 more damage. That's pretty cute, but you're probably not getting a lot of mileage out of it. But it is cute. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a cute attack. Glaceon, 90 HP, stage 1, 2 energy, 60 damage for Ice Beam. If you flip a heads, opponent's Pokemon is paralyzed. I mean, it's a cute card. I like the art. But again, probably not playable. Like, I think that the best comparison to a card like this is like Frostmoth, right? Like, I think you probably look at Frostmoth and you're like, does Frostmoth just do that better? Right? Like, am I just better off? Like, sure, I only deal 40 as opposed to 60, but is Frostmoth, like, is that just better? You know, there's no, like, I don't have to flip a coin, but, you know, again, there is still a coin flip involved with your opponent, so, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I could definitely see the argument, you know, that you really are kind of getting power creep right here, and Glaceon is just the better choice. I could definitely see that, for sure. Wash Rotom, again, just like the Rotoms, like somebody mentioned earlier, not great. The Frost Rotom is kind of cute. The Blizzard that does 30 and then 10 to the bench, that's kind of cute. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that you're gonna get a lot of mileage out of it. Let's see, Palkia. I like Palkia. I do think Palkia has a chance to be relevant. I'm not sure that Manaphy is going to be like the best way to play Palkia, but I could definitely see the synergy there. And, you know, I've kind of talked about these cards in other videos, so I won't spend too much time on this, but I do think that both cards are pretty cute and could have potential. I think Palkia probably has more of a chance than the Manaphy to be relevant, but, you know, this is so early. We haven't even played these cards. I could be very, very wrong. But yeah, just a reminder, 24 hours, less than 24 hours, these cards will be released, and you'll be able to open packs of Space Time Smackdown to get these cards and play with them. Bro, just skip some of these obvious fillers. Pokemon Comms debates about to be the next red card. Dude, we were joking around in a Discord that Focus Band was going to be the next red card, and then they didn't even print Focus Band. Glaceon is Power Crab. I could see that for sure, though. When do new packs come out? Yep, again, 24 hours. Palkia, 1 damage, 30 on 150 damage is cracked. Dude, yeah, I agree. Like, I think it's just a good card to put early game pressure. Okay, let's get to some other cards. So I've already talked about Magnezone. I don't think that I have much to add. There is a new Voltorb that I did not read. I didn't read the Voltorb. So the Voltorb says this does... Ooh, whoa. I like that. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I like that. For sure. Yeah, give me that Voltorb, dude. I'm playing this Voltorb over the Apex Voltorb all day. Yeah. Let's... Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's only 10 damage more, but dude, yo, you're possibly knocking out 60 HP Pokemon that are like weak to Voltorb with Giovanni. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, give me this Voltorb. I'll take the 10 less health after I attack for sure. For sure. The new Electrode is kind of interesting too. It doesn't have free retreat, but it deals 50 for 1 energy. And then again, when you compare it to the old Electrode, so it's same bulk, right? My bad. Same bulk, right? 80 HP, but instead of a 2 energy commitment, it's a 1 energy commitment, right? And then you can retreat and then bring it back in later and just attach energy to it and attack again. So I do like the new Electrode. I like those. I like both of them. That's potentially 80 damage that you're dealing with 1 energy total. And you know, you could compare it to the Apex Electrode, you know, 20 and 70, that would be 90 damage. So you're doing 10 more damage, right? You're doing 10 more damage over 2 turns, right? Hold on. So yeah, 30 plus 50, that's 80. And then 20 plus 70, that's 90. So you're doing 10 more damage, but you're spending a whole nother energy, right? So yeah, give me... And like, think about it like this too. It's kind of nice to actually get value out of the energies that you attach, right? You attach 2 energy to Electrode, like, unless you play Surge, you're probably never getting more value out of those energies. However,
1 energy on that Electrode and that Voltorb that's from Space Time Smackdown, that gets you some mileage. So yeah, give me the new Electrode and Voltorb for sure, bro. Give me that. Speaking of new cards, Electabuzz. Take 1 electric energy from your energy zone attached to this Pokemon. Yeah, give me this. I like this. Really, really cool that they gave it like a self-charger. It's kind of like Magmar, right? Yeah, give me this. I like this for sure. You know, obviously I would like to have an Electabuzz that attacks. And again, you could compare it to the other Electabuzzes. So we now have 3 Electabuzzes, which is kind of crazy. But give me this Electabuzz. I like that. Granted, you're not going to have that sniping ability, but you're probably going to just play Zebstrika, you know, if you really want to snipe things. And then again, how good is sniping now that Magikarp has Cape, right? How good is sniping, you know, with Zebstrika when it comes to stuff like Magikarp? No doubt Zebstrika is going to be really, really good still, especially with Cyrus and Pokemon decks, or Pikachu decks, but I don't mind playing that Electabuzz if I'm playing an Electivire deck, right? If I'm playing like classic Pikachu, I'm 100% fine with playing just Electivire, you know, and playing just this Electabuzz from Space Time Smackdown. So yeah, definitely give me this. It just depends on which Electabuzz, you know, or if I'm playing Pikachu or if I'm playing Electivire. I think that's probably the best comparison. Shinx. So I didn't spend a lot of time looking at Shinx. So let's check out Shinx and that whole line. So really quickly, try to run through this. So Shinx hide, flip a coin of heads, prevent all damage and effects. Okay, so it's kind of got like a way to dodge damage. Not bad. Luxio, 2 energy for 40 damage. Okay, decent, you know, mid, right? Luxray. So Luxray, it does have synergy with Volknor, if I'm remembering correctly. So 130 HP, you got to discard every energy, but it's gonna snipe for 120. That's insane. With Volknor attaching 2 energy, you could get back-to-back turns sniping with Luxray. Could be a really good sweeper in the no EX format. I don't think that it's good enough right now in the open format, like with EXs. So non-EX, I think this has potential. Open format, I'm not sold on it. Not sold on it. So, okay, down to the last 2 electric types, and one we've already seen, right? Pachirisu. So we now know that there's going to be 2 really playable Pokemon tools. So take that for what you will. Pachirisu. You know, the cool thing about this is it allows you to play other Pokemon that are not electric types as long as they have colorless attacks. You know, maybe there's an argument to just playing Pachirisu alongside Pikachu, right? Just have all the annoying mouse type rat looking Pokemon, right? Maybe that's the way. This Rotom. So this is probably the best Rotom in my opinion. So Assault Laser is going to be colorless, meaning you can splash this. And basically it's saying, hey, if your opponent's active Pokemon has a tool, this does 30 more damage. Now, the bad thing is that like the tools that you're going to be attacking into are going to be Cape and Rocky Helmet. So like that's kind of a problem, right? You know, you're putting your Rotom closer to being KO'd, or you're dealing 30 damage additionally, but they basically cancel that out because they have 20 more HP. So yeah, and obviously you don't know, like every deck is going to be playing 2 or 4 or 0 Pokemon tools. So probably the best Rotom, but still not very good. But it looks like we are to the Psychic types, and there's a very interesting Psychic type that's an EX here. Orbital Strike, 120 anywhere is pretty funny. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So anyway, so let's talk about this. There was a person in my comments that was like supremely confident that if you attack with Togekiss and then say your opponent Sabrina's it out of the active, that the damage will not reset. So like if you bring it back in, it should deal the 60 plus, right? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because like usually when you take things out of the active, it like resets it. So I have no idea how that's going to behave. It could be interesting. 60 plus 60 plus 50 is 170, which is a boatload of damage. Again, considering Cynthia, and it's a 2 energy attack, so it's reasonably priced. It's 140 HP, so it's reasonably bulky, and it's got 1 retreat cost. This is a decent card, man. It's a decent card. Like, no EX format, I could totally see this, getting a little bit of play. But you just wonder, is it going to be too slow, right? That's what you wonder. Is it going to be too slow? But I do wonder if it resets or not. Okay, let's talk about what I would say, like, so far is one of the best cards that we've talked about. Let's talk about Miss Magus. So, Miss Magus, I like this card. First of all, it's a stage 1. So you can put this bad boy out there quick, okay? So it's going to hit the board quick, right? The attack is going to deal 70 damage, and your opponent is now going to have to figure out, do I want to risk 20 damage, or risk my attack failing with confusion, right? Like, the whole confusion aspect of this card, I think, makes it playable. And you got to think that Psychic already has things like Mythical Slab. It's going to have some consistency going for it. Even with something like a Pokemon Communications, right? Which we'll talk about in a second. The weakness to Dark, it sucks, sure. But with Cape, I mean, you're looking at 160 HP Pokemon that is going to confuse your opponent every time it attacks. Right? So, like, if they don't retreat and they just stay confused, I mean, that's an issue, right? And 1 retreat cost. So it's easy to pivot. I like this card. I don't know how good it is, but I'm willing to try it out. I'm 100% willing to try it out. And, like, it may surprise some people. So I would definitely not cross this card off the list just yet. But again, it's going to need help. Like, it's going to need Cape, and it's probably going to need another, like, good Pokemon to play alongside it that's, like, relatively cheap. There's one more thing about this card that I do want to point out. There's an event for a promo Misdreavus. Misdreavus right now that we have is only going to be a 60 HP basic that deals 20 for, 1 energy. But the promo Misdreavus is actually going to confuse your opponent's Pokemon. So they're going to be confused even before you evolve to Miss Magus. I think that there's possibly something to this, right? For sure. Like, anytime you have a stage 1 Pokemon that can attack for 1 or 2 energy, think Starmie, think Exeggutor, think Weevil, right? Weavile, however you want to pronounce it. There's potential there. Okay? There's potential there. So the new Ralts, new Curly, I've already talked about those in my video. Let's skip to Dusknoir. So Dusknoir, this is the first time we've seen this ability. Could you imagine somebody roping every turn, just moving damage counters with Dusknoir? Anyway, so Dusknoir's the ability, it's 130 HP, but the ability is going to be why people like it. As often as you like during your turn, you may choose one of your Pokemon that has damage on it and move all of its damage to this Pokemon. So you could basically get a full heal and put a bunch of damage on Dusknoir, but you're going to leave it vulnerable to something like a Cyrus or something like a Zebstrika or Hitmonlee potentially. Probably not good enough. But it's a cute card. I don't think that it's good enough though. Maybe it sees play in non-EX. Maybe that's where it shines. Okay. Let me make sure that I get caught up with chat. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Thank you. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you. Let's see. Damage ceiling feels too low. You're talking about, yeah, I could see that. But hey, I mean, if you're confusing, that's almost like a sleep. It's almost going to deter your opponent from attacking. So you might get more time to attack with it than you'd imagine. But yeah, I agree. It's tough. And then, yeah, confuse is flip for no attack or deal 30 to self. Is it 30 or 20? I'd have to look at the game one more time. I'll pull it up real quick in my game while I'm catching up with chat. Because I did look at it earlier, but that was like 6 hours ago. And then let's see. With the new Darkrai and Weevil, Psychic will suffer a lot. Ooh, good point. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a very good point. Yeah. There's a game within a game there, right? It's a weird Starmie. I agree. It's like a different Starmie, right? It's like, yeah, we heard you like Starmie. Check this out. Like, that's what it feels like. We heard you like Starmie, so how about we give you a different kind of like variation about it? So let's see, about battle rules. Yeah, special conditions. Okay, here we go. So just to make sure everybody knows what confused is. Okay. So flip a coin. So when confused Pokemon attack, the owner must flip a coin. If heads, the attack works normally, but if tails, the attack doesn't happen and the player's turn ends. So like, you basically have the ability to potentially make them skip their turn. So it's not going to be like the in real life trading card game where confusion would like make you hit yourself, which is hilarious, but it can make you like fail an attack. So that's what's really interesting. I think Giratina can work as a new wall. Because it can use any energy to free retreat. That's fascinating. I can't wait for new Executor Mew deck with the new tools. 140 HP instead of 130, 50-50, deal 100, no attack. Let's see. I just realized Electrode can kill Greninja on the bench. That's evil. Don't do that. That's evil. Miss May just seems like a great card to pair with something like Togekiss to have a consistent attacker while you're waiting for Togekiss to show up. Yeah, I could see that. Okay. Let's see. I know the TCG is 30, but the game may be 20. Yeah, we just talked about that. Yeah, no damage on confusion, but it can make him skip a turn. Darkrai Weevil EX seems broken out of the gate. I agree. Pikachu takes less cards to set up, which is more reliable. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that for sure. Let's see. Mesprit almost 100% sucks, but it sounds so funny. Can you still retreat with confusion? Yes, you can still retreat with confusion. In fact, like, that's how you usually clear it. Like, usually, right? Sometimes you just flip the coin. Okay, so let's go to, what do they call this? The Lake Trio? Is that what they call this? The Lake Trio? So this is Uxie. So 1 energy, take 1 psychic energy from your energy zone, attach it to Mesprit or Azelf. So it's going to ramp one of 2 other Pokemon that it has synergy with. Low bulk, so, you know, these Pokemon are a little classy, but they all work together. Mesprit, 3 energy attacks, but it's going to do 160. But the only way that you can use this attack is if you have Uxie and Azelf on your bench, and then you have to discard all these energy. So it's like a nuke, right? It's a glass cannon. Azelf, Psychic Arrow, this does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Dude, if they would have made this 30, insane, right? The fact that they made this 20 like makes this like borderline like unplayable into other psychic decks, right? Like, you can't really tech this into your Mew deck, your Mewtwo deck, and so, you know, there's going to be some cute decks that play all these together and like high roll you, but most of the time these cards are probably not going to be very good. So this is the Giratina. So as long as this has any energy, it has no retreat cost. So yeah, I could see this in Mewtwo. Basically, it's kind of like a damage wall that can potentially have free retreat, right, for 1 energy. And for 3 energy, it can maybe apply some pressure. So you can maybe do 70 damage with it. You know, hey, I could definitely see that being relevant. I wonder what the math is with Weavile, though. That would be a little concerning. Is 120 too low? Same with Cresselia, right? But the thing is, Cresselia will heal itself when it attacks. I just wonder about how glassy things are into Weavile. So when we get to dark, we'll have to do some math. So that does it for the psychic types. Again, the cards that I'd probably be the most excited about are Miss Magus, Giratina, and Togekiss. For electric types, just in case I didn't really talk about this, I do like the Electrode line. I like the Electivire line. I like Pachirisu. Luxray could be cute and no EX. Magnezone, I don't know how I feel about it yet. And then Water, Palkia, Manaphy for sure. And Poleon's cute, but I don't think it's good. Yeah, I think that's probably the two most playable cards in that. And then, Fire, Infernape. Definitely Infernape. The new Magmar looks sick, but I don't think that Magmortar is going to be very good. But definitely interested in Infernape. And then for the grass type, I do think Leafeon might have some play, just because of that quick tempo grass aggro kind of deck. And then you got to think cards like Rocky Helm are going to help those aggro decks too, right? And then Yanmega, maybe potentially some synergy with Dialga. So yeah, just kind of recapping the stuff that we've talked about so far. Let's get to the fighting, and we get closer and closer to the dark type, and then we'll talk about the items and supporters. So, Rhyperior. So the Rhydon is definitely better than the Rhydon that we currently have. I don't know about the Rhyhorn though. So Rhyperior, 160 HP for 4 energy. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck, but you're dealing 150. That's kind of cool, right? It's just a constant 150 attacker. Kind of reminds you of like what Golem in a way was, but there's no Brock, right? So probably not better than Golem. That's probably the way that I would look at Rhydon, right? Or Rhyperior. Not better than Golem. That's probably the best way to describe it. Gliscor, let's check it out. 100 HP stage 1 for 1 energy, does 20 damage, and then you flip 2 coins and it does 20 more for each head. So anywhere from 20 to 60 damage, but it does have 2 retreat cost. So it doesn't have that stage 1 magic necessarily because of that retreat cost. So probably not a great card to play with. Probopass and Nosepass. So Nosepass actually is going to have a fighting type, and then Probopass is going to have steel type. So that's a little tricky. This is the Hitmontop that we got. I think I'd rather play Hitmonchan. Yeah, I think I'd rather just play Hitmonchan, right? The 50 damage with the Lucario boost is 70, so that's decent, but it's 2 energy. And I think that you probably want to be conscious of where and what you're putting into your fighting deck with energies. So I probably lean more towards Hitmonchan. It stinks that Hitmontop wasn't better, in my opinion. The Probopass and the Nosepass, again, we'll just skip past the Nosepass. The Regirock. So let's talk about Regirock. So Regirock is a little bit of a wall. It's going to take 20 damage less from attacks. So think of this as kind of like a miniature Melmetal in a way, right? Like it's like a alternate Melmetal. Okay. And it's going to have a grass weakness, 120 HP, and for 4 energy it's dealing 100, but this is like miniature Melmetal, like to the T, right? Maybe you could play it as a wall, but 3 retreats kind of hefty. So, hey, not too sold on this card. But again, if people could make Melmetal work, hey, why couldn't Regirock work, right? Hey, maybe there's something there. Cranidos and Rampardos. So I do want to highlight the stage 1. The stage 1 does 50 damage for 1 energy. Kind of sick, right? Kind of sick. I kind of like that stat line. The problem is, like, what format are you playing Cranidos, right? like you're probably having to play Rampardos. And Rampardos is an absolute sledgehammer. It's going to deal 130 damage, but if your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this attack, it's going to deal 50 to itself. So you're going to be like smashing some things with Rampardos' head, but it's also going to get some recoil. This is an interesting card. The fossil element is the only part of this that I don't like, but if you can find a way to make it play to your advantage, maybe there's something to this. But 130 damage for 1 energy, that's insane. There has to be a way to make this card at least a little playable. Think about this. With Lucario, dude, you have a 1 energy Mewtwo. Granted, it's a stage 2, but it's dealing 150 with Lucario. That's crazy. So, I want to cook with this card, but I fully accept it may be terrible. It may be terrible. Straight up. What do you think about Rampardos, chat? Let me catch up with chat. What do you think about Rampardos? So let me catch up on chat. So let's see. I don't see Meespreak being totally bad with slabs. Okay, true. Still more cheesy than anything. Let's see. We heard how much you love Nidoqueen's gimmick here, so here's Meespreak, right? Let's see. Put Rocky Helmet on Giratina. Put an energy on it when you want to retrieve for free, for sure. Weevil will need Giovanni with Darkrai passive to kill Giratina in 1. Okay. We'll have to come back to that. Weevil does 2-shot it. 20 plus 20 super effective on Sneasel on Curve. Okay. I feel like Magnezone might be overshadowed as Volkner activator for Raichu plus Surge. It's just so the thing about Magnezone and Electivire and Luxray is like, dude, you're playing so many pieces to combos. You need the evolution lines. You need the stage 2, stage 3 pseudo trainers, right? With the supporters. You need the Volkner at the right time. You need the Surge at the right time. Like, it's a lot to ask for. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not super high on the deck right now. Yeah, that's the only thing that it's like a little tricky, right? Let's see. I guess it does less damage, has no ramping option, so you probably only want to play Regirock as a tank. Yeah, Rampardos low-key busted. Dude, it might be. 1 energy, 130 Sledgehammer for sure. It could be good, but it is a stage 2, exactly. Let's see. I don't see stage 2 being as bad with communication. So, man, we need to save it for communication. There's a video on the worst card in the game where they rag on Golurk all video, only to say Rhydon is the worst since it's Golurk. You could swap cards better now. True. Glad that Rhydon is no longer the worst card in the game. Rampardos is already better than Marshadow. Oof, man. Oh, tough take. I don't know. But I think that Marshadow probably did get worse. Can't wait to see the decks you're going to cook up today. Dude, I can't wait either. It's going to be fun. The one thing about Volkner is you don't really need to use to build around it to be good. Well, sure, but like you're still playing like stage 2s or a stage 2. And then like, you know, maybe you don't play Surge and everything. I don't know. Marshadow probably more consistent because he doesn't need a Volt. Yeah. Marshadow's biggest problem is going to be Rocky Helmet taking KOs from things, and overall like Cyrus bringing Marshadow out, cutting it off from KOing something, right? What time are the cards gonna be like? About 23 hours and 15 minutes from now. First stage being a fossil doesn't count for communication either, so realistically use Arrow Rampardos. Have something with electric energy die. Now you have electric energy in your discard pile. For sure, just retreating gets energy there, right? Yeah. Okay, let's keep finishing fighting, and then we'll get to Dark. I've already talked about Lucario and Riolu. The one thing I will reiterate about Riolu and Lucario, if you go second into a Pikachu EX, Riolu attack for 40, and then Lucario attacks for 80. So that is a 2-hit KO on a Pikachu EX if they don't heal or play blue. So keep that in mind for Riolu Lucario. Be on alert if you're a Pikachu player or a Pachirisu player. Riolu Lucario I think is going to be really good. So Wormadam, don't think it's very good. So we're just going to skip past that. Hippopotamus, let's just look at Hippowdon, right? Yeah, not very good. We're probably not playing those cards. And then we've already talked about Gallade in another one of my videos. I do think that Gallade could have some play with it, depending on like, hey, you got Lucario, so keep that in mind. You could compare You could compare Machamp to Gallade, but obviously Gallade is cheaper at 2 energy, and then you also have the ability to play Mythical Slab to find your Ralts and Kirlia. So, it's slightly different. Overall, in fighting, I want to cook with Rampardos. That's the card I really want to cook with. I want to play Riolu, Lucario, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be good. By the way, with Riolu, Lucario, I think that the promo Mankey and the genetic Apex Primeape are good. Okay? I think that when you play a card like a Cape, Giant Cape, I think that suddenly this card gets a lot better. Like if you go first and you play your promo Mankey and put a Cape on it, so it's got 70 HP, is your opponent going to attack that? Probably not, right? So then you get a turn to attach an energy to your Mankey and then maybe evolve to Primeape. And slowly but surely you're slowly working your way up to having a Primeape with 110 HP that they probably can't one-hit KO, right? And when you do the math, that would be 40 damage from Primeape with no damage counters, and then 100 with Primeape and the damage counters. So you're doing 140 potentially, and hey, maybe you have Lucario as well. So I do think that Primeape and the promo Mankey are gonna be decent, and I can't wait to cook with them on stream with you guys. 100% gonna be looking forward to cooking with that. But I also am looking forward to cooking with Gallade. So Rampardos, Lucario, Gallade. Let me have those cards immediately, please. Chat, what do you think about the potential for the promo Mankey and Giant Cape? What do you think? Just difficult to hear you say Weevil. Okay, Weavile. All right, I'm sorry. Weevil is a Yu-Gi-Oh character, though. How can you not like Weevil? How do you not like Weevil? So excited for Dark types, dude. We're about to talk about them. Does Volkner specifically have to be 2 energy? That's a good question. I don't remember the exact text. We'll see it here in a second. Let's see. You can take 1 energy from your discard. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. Hey, Hippowdon is strictly better than Genetic Apex right on. The ultimate compliment. Regirock is broken. You think so? Really? Being slightly better than Genetic Apex right on. Yeah, definitely. I agree. The main problem is it's hard to activate going first, and Cape doesn't entirely solve the problem. No, I agree. But it definitely makes it trickier for the opponent to play around. They have to deal 110, or they're going to take 40 and then 100. That's insane. Cape helps promo Mankey so much. I agree. The Primeape tech. Yeah, I think it's going to cook, man. I think it's going to cook. I need Regirock for my Golem deck. Hey, that's a good point. Weevil's a one-piece character too. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let's get to these dark types, because these dark types are kind of spicy. So, Murkrow, nothing really to back home about, but 20 damage, it's pretty decent. Especially into Psychic decks. You're going to love that. You're going to love that when you match up into a Psychic deck. Honchkrow is what really steals the show, though. So for 2 energy, you're going to be able to snipe 50 damage into one of your opponent's Pokemon. Snipe damage and Cyrus is just match made in heaven. Also, this has synergy with Weavile EX. So, yeah, I'm down to cook, okay? I'm down to cook with some Honchkrow. Don't forget Darkrai EX, which we'll talk about here in a second. So, Honchkrow, hey, bear with me, folks. You may want to play Honchkrow. You may want to play around with it. The Sneasel is decent, not great. It's just decent. We won't spend too much time on it, but Weavile again. So if your opponent's Pokemon has damage on it, this does 40 more damage. So 70 damage is hopefully what you're hitting. It's 90 damage to Psychic Pokemon. Okay, it's 100 damage with Giovanni. If you attack first for 30, right, and you get the Psychic weakness, that's 50. Then you attack for 90. So that's 140 damage. So you're potentially knocking out a Mew EX and potentially with Giovanni knocking out a Mewtwo EX. However, keep in mind, Mewtwo decks are probably going to be playing Fighting Cape, or excuse me, the big Cape. I think it's not Fighting Cape. It's like Great Cape or something like that. So keep that in mind, okay? But Weavile has great synergy with Darkrai EX, which I think is probably the next card we're going to talk about. Let's see, do we need to talk about Skuntank? 50 damage, your opponent's Pokemon is now poisoned. It's kind of like Tentacruel, right? Kind of like Tentacruel. So maybe no EX decks playing Dark, maybe, I don't know. So Spiritomb has great synergy with Weavile as well for a colorless. So this is another card that you could splash. You could splash, right? Because what do I mean by splash, by the way? I mean splash as in you can put it in any deck because it has a colorless attack. So maybe there's other cards that synergize with damage counters being on opponent's Pokemon. So keep that in mind. But Spiritomb is going to deal 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So like at best, it's doing it's 1 energy for 40 damage. That's the way you got to kind of look at this, right? At best, it's 1 damage or 1 energy for 40 damage. Granted, it's spread out. So 1 retreat costs 80 HP, pretty bulky, pretty bulky. They gave it a decent amount of bulk. I think that that's very valuable. If you put a cape on it, it's 100 HP potentially. So not bad. Drapion, I don't think is very good. I think it's a little expensive. Flip 4 coins. This does 40 damage for each heads. If at least 2 are heads, your opponent's Pokemon is now poisoned. Yeah, I think it's just too expensive. Like, I think you're just playing other cards. Yeah, I just think you're playing other cards. Toxicroak, it's cute, right? Flip a coin for each Pokemon you have in play. So, like, you're possibly flipping 4 coins. I would play it. I would play it. Yeah, I would play it. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Pokemon that they're playing homage to. Beat Down Sneasel. Where you would flip coins for like each Pokemon in play and deal like 20 damage or 30 damage for each Pokemon, for each heads. So keep in mind, it says for each Pokemon you have in play. So this is a 4 coin flip card. Active and 3 bench. So if you flip 50%, you're talking about 80 damage. Like, yeah, I would play around with this card. 100% would play around with this card. Like, before, I was kind of sus on it. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, when I first read it, I was kind of sus on it. But I'm down to play it. Another way to look at it, too, is you have Croagunk, who does the same thing. Croagunk, that does the same thing. Except it's 20 damage. So, yeah, I'm down to play with Toxicroak. I'm down to play with it. Like, imagine hitting 4 heads on Toxicroak and like smacking something for 160 damage. That would be insane. That would be absolutely insane. So yeah, give me that. Give me that. I will try it at least once. So we are finally to the end of the dark and arguably the best card in the dark type. Darkrai is probably not very good. Okay? It's probably not very good. However, Darkrai EX. Yes. Now this card. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. You might want to cook with this card, Chad. So, you want to pair this with a 1 energy attacker or even maybe a 2 energy attacker. But 100% you want to pair this with Weavile. Okay? And each time you attach an energy from your energy zone to this Pokemon, 20 damage on your opponent's active Pokemon. So, like, you're setting up your Weavile. I'll correct myself. And maybe, if you do the math right, let's check this out. Let's check this out. So, realistically, let's just say you go first. Okay, you play Sneasel, you pass. All right, next turn, evolve Weavile. attach an energy, play Darkrai on the bench, hit for 30. Next turn, attach an energy to Darkrai. So now your opponent's Pokemon has 50 damage on it, and you're about to hit it for 70 more. That's 120 damage. That's perfect math for knocking out a Pikachu. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Yo, okay, what about Psychic types? Okay, so same scenario. I go first, I play Sneasel, I pass. My turn, I attach an energy to Sneasel, evolve to Weavile, attack your Psychic type for 50 damage. Okay, my turn again. I play Darkrai, attach an energy to Darkrai. Now, I have done 70 damage to you, and I'm about to hit you for 90. Yes, that's 160 damage. Yes, that could, with Giovanni, knock out a Mewtwo that has Cape on it. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. So, yeah, Darkrai, I'm in a Discord and people were kind of like down on Darkrai EX, and I was like, dude, that works perfect with Weavile. So, hold on. Let me cook, chat. Let me cook, okay? I like it. I like it. Okay, I think it's got potential. So, yeah. And hey, here's another thing too. Let's just say that you can't get that Giovanni. Well, next turn you can just attach with Darkrai and finish it off before you attack. Or, you know, you could Cyrus and you could Sabrina, blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, Darkrai and Weavile, they're cooking. They're absolutely cooking. So, yeah, I'm down with it, okay? I'm down with it. So before we get to Steel type, let me catch up with chat. So let's see. Bunch of 1 energy attacks. Yeah, for sure. Darkrai, Weavile, somebody's talking about it. Yeah, Dawn. Yeah, you could definitely do stuff with Dawn. To retreat on Honchkrow, just think you're playing Leaf, right? You're playing Leaf. Yeah, Regirock and Fossil. I agree. Let's see. I've been using the 1 energy Primate. Yeah. I agree. But yeah, I think the fact that people had kind of forgot about the old Primate from Apex is kind of like another reason why it's kind of under the radar with Cape. Let's see. Yeah, only 1 energy. Yeah, if you're talking about Weavile, for sure. 1 energy is just not that impactful at stage 2 and no basics, sort of like Kabutops. Oh, if you're talking about Rampardos, that's true as well. I think Rampardos, yeah, that's what I just said. Okay. The most important part of the card is when you set up Darkrai EX and Weavile X, you have Pikachu with 3. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I think Rampardos sucks just like on the Nintendo games. Dude, hey, Rampardos is busted in Pokemon Go where it was. Splashable Cyrus Enabler has to have a place somewhere. I agree. Is Toxicroak kind of like Dark Pikachu then? I think it's... Damn. That's... Yeah. Hey, good post. Everyone who exposes the leaked information is whacked as fuck. Let's play the game. Let the devs do your thing. Dude. You know what would be even more funny? If you, like, chilled out and didn't spend your time on the internet, like, raining on other people's parades. Like, that would be hilarious. Shaman, kind of interesting in the colors. Darkrai, Weevil, Synergy, Weavile. Yeah, for sure. Basic Greninja, for sure. Let's see. Pretty neat. You can don the energy into Weavile, for sure. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I mean, you don't even... So you're saying... Ooh. So you're saying, I go first, I play Sneasel. Pass. Next turn, I play Darkrai. Attach the energy to Darkrai. Move the energy with Mars, I believe is the trainer. Yeah, that's really cute. Yeah, I like that. If you don't start with Sneasel, though, are you screwed? I think you play other dark Pokemon that are cheap attackers, too, right? Like, I think, like, that's the whole theme of Dark, is you're playing, like, Weezing, Weavile, Darkrai. You know, you're playing... Even, like, Toxicroak is pretty cheap, right? Pretty cheap. I completely forgot about Dawn. It's even more broken going first. I thought, yeah, Dawn moves an energy from your bench to your active. We'll get to that very soon. Let's see. Heatron alternate art best. I gotta check it out. Pair these two up with Wheezing. You got a nice tank too. Yeah. So I agree, dude. I think Wheezing is like an alternate card to put in that deck for sure. I just worry about space. Maybe I'll tell you what. If we got time, we'll go to the deck builder. The fact that you can do 90 damage going first with Dawn, Weavile, EX, and Darkrai is insane. I agree. Yeah, for 1 energy, that's insane. Farfetch might have Dark Synergy now. Yeah, dude, that's the other thing. Like, there's Farfetch, there's Rocky Helmet, there's Cape. Like, dude, aggro is back, baby. Aggro is back. Spiritomb alt art is also amazing. I gotta check that out. Wiregrass weakness. So apparently, dark types are weak to bug in the games, I believe is what the lore is. You can put energy on Darkrai, then don it to Weavile if you desperately need chip damage. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about still types. So Dark, I'm very, very excited about Dark. I think Honchkrow is not to be slept on. I think Weavile is good. Like, just straight up, I think it's good. I think Darkrai is very good. I think Toxicroak has potential. And even a card like Spiritomb might be kind of techy. Okay, so let's get to Steel. So we're going to go Skarmory, Registeel. Bastiodon is kind of interesting as well. We'll talk about Bastion. I mean, Bronzong is kind of just mid. Probopass kind of mid. All right, let's get to these. Okay. Probopass kind of just sucks, right? Some people say I look like Probopass, and like, I don't know if I should be offended, okay? I don't know if I should be offended, but I am, chat, I am. Okay, Bronzong. 120 HP stage 1. 3 energy attack, 60 damage. It's kind of like a miniature golem, except no Brock, and it's a stage 1. Probably not playing it. Maybe you can get away with playing it with Dialga. Maybe. Bastiodon is another Pokemon that is like a fossil type, because Shieldon is a Pokemon that evolves from a fossil. So if you don't know that, now you know. Bastiodon is like kind of interesting because of the ability. So if any damage is done to this Pokemon by attack, flip a coin. If head, this Pokemon takes minus 100 damage from the attack. That's crazy, dude. So Bastiodon is kind of interesting, but I don't know. It's interesting, but I don't know if it's good. But also keep in mind, this is 160 HP, dude. Like, that's a lot. The downsides are the retreat cost. But if you can get this going with Dialga and actually find it, like, in time to, like, play it, maybe it's good. I could see this being a no EX deck for sure. For sure. Just worry about the damage cap. Damage cap is a little low, but hey, if you're flipping heads, you're not taking any damage in a lot of cases. Registeel, so I was actually wrong. Regis don't all have abilities outside of the normal type. Registeel also does not have an ability. It's just a heavy-hitting, basic steel type. 3 energy, take 90, right? 110 HP, 2 retreat costs. So has synergy with Leaf. Maybe you play it with Dialga. Don't know. So Skarmory was really interesting because people were thinking that it did 70 more damage. Thank God it doesn't. But Skarmory is still really solid, man. Still really solid. 1 retreat cost 80 HP. For 1 energy, you can deal 50. Right? So you put Cape on it, it's got 100 HP. You put a Rocky Helmet on it, it's going to deal 20 damage every time that your opponent hits it. So this could potentially deal 70 damage by itself. Maybe 90 if it gets 2-hit KO'd. So, decent card. But again, like, if you want to play aggro, I think you just play Dark. I think you play Dark or Fighting. I don't think you play Still. I just don't think you do it. And then I do like Dialga. I just don't know. After seeing some of these cards, I don't know where Dialga falls. So Heatron, 120 HP. Steel type instead of a fire type, which a lot of people might be happy about. For 100, does 3 damage or 3 energy for 110 damage, and it also does 20 to itself. So it does have recoil. Again, I don't know that you're going to really play this card. Probably not, right? So out of the steel types, I'm excited to try out Bastiodon and Dialga. Maybe a little Skarmory, maybe. But mostly Bastiodon and Dialga. Those would be my go-to cards. Dude, they trolled us with this Licky EX. How do they get away? Who was that person saying, I hope that these are fake? I hope this is fake. Person that said that. All right. I've already talked about Garchomp, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But again, Licky, it's like a worse Gyarados. It's like a worse Gyarados. Because like it's got a lot of similarities to Gyarados, but 20 less HP and a coin flip to deal 140 basically. But hey, it could deal freaking 999 damage. All right, if you flip a bunch of heads. But very similar to Gyarados in a lot of ways. Very similar. Not quite, right? But similar. Definitely don't want to play it. Please do not give me 17 Licky EXs. I will cry. I will cry. Very hard. Okay. Ambipom, let's not waste our time. Hey, Starly is interesting tech for the future. For 1 energy, it discards all Pokemon tools from your opponent's active Pokemon. Keep that in mind for the future. If there's more tools that are really good, Starly, maybe Dees. Dude, here we go. We're finally to the good stuff. We're finally to the good stuff, chat. Bidoof. Now, hopefully you saw my video earlier today. If you didn't, I got a Bidoof deck in there. I got timestamps. The Bidoof deck is very much alive, okay? So, you got Dialga into Bidoof, right? Right? So you're having your opponent's HP after you deal a 30 to him. And then boom, barrel. Deal 60. GG, bro. Just knocked out your EX, bro. Get Bidoofed. Get Bidoofed. That's right, chat. We're back. We're back. So, I'm totally going to play this card. I'm totally going to play this card. It may be turbo trash, but I'm totally going to play it. Lopunny was so close to being good, and then they said, hey, let's make it do 20 instead of 30, which respectfully is probably the right thing to do, okay? Probably the right thing to do. But Lopunny was so close to being good. So close. Like, I'm like pinching my fingers, showing you a very small space in between them for how close it was to almost being good. Okay? Very close. Perugly, it's got a cute effect, but you're probably not really using it because you're probably never playing this card and you're probably never attacking with it. But if you do attack with it, 3 energy, your opponent reveals their hand, choose 1 card, shuffle it. Shuffle it. Send it back. Be toxic. New Chateau, flip 3 coins. This attack does 20 damage for each. So this is potentially on par with like a Farfetch'd with slightly more HP. Personally, I'd rather just play Farfetch'd. But it kind of gives you Kangaskhan vibes, right? Kind of gives you Kangaskhan vibes. Fan Rotom, flip a coin. If heads, put your opponent's active Pokemon in their hand. Yeah. Hey, maybe there's something to it. Regigigas, this attack does more damage equal to the damage this Pokemon has on it. So if it has 100 damage on it, it's still like 150. So, hey, you know, there's that. All right, let me catch up with chat, and we are finally to the trainers and the fossils. Dude, here we go. Oh my gosh, the chat, you're off the chain. Off the chain. Yo, what's going on, Woozy? I'm catching up on chat right now, so what's up, what's up, what's up? My main issue with the dark deck is there's not enough space. Dude, I said the same thing. Yeah. But to fit in Honchkrow for Gyarados. Dude, Gyarados is going to be playing Cape for Magikarp. Gotta be. So, Honchkrow would be the perfect counter, but yeah, you're probably not having enough room. You probably still find a way to play Honchkrow just to make that Gyarados be 150 HP or, 130. Because that's a lot more doable than 200 HP with cape. Bronzong somehow worse than Regirock. Yeah, Bug has a different symbol. Yeah, you're right. Bastiodon plus Dusknoir cooking. Ooh. Is it though? Oh, you're saving up your Bastiodon and moving the energy to Dusknoir. That's awesome. Koga, you're cooking, bro. You're cooking. Still got pretty weak support. Dialga's not terrible. Bastiodon seems interesting. But yeah, I could see where you're coming from. Skarmory's decent. It's decent. Bastiodon, God of Stall. Kind of just feels like the best still cards. To pair with Dialga is going to be Melmetal. Yeah. Bastiodon I think is the best, but it's just going to be how frequently are you going to be able to get Bastiodon down? Honestly, Dialga's best partners are probably Colorless or Mew EX. Is the way I would probably lean. Kind of just feels like, if it works, of course, people are going to sleep on Bastiodon. Bastiodon is a Power Creep Snorlax if you ignore that it's a stage 2. Well, that's a pretty big part to ignore. Still, Wormadon could be good. Could it really? I skipped over it. Flip a coin until you get tells. This deck does 30 more damage for each head, and it's 50 base damage. Okay, that's decent. Yeah. Licky. Neutral Gyarados. Yeah, for sure. Every set needs a meme card, maybe in Dragon Decks. MBB, are you excited or disappointed by these? I'm very excited. I love that we have a bunch of new cards. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, okay? Pikachu and Mewtwo are still really, really good, okay? Pikachu, Mewtwo, Gyarados are all still really, really good. Serebii is still going to be great, okay? The old decks are not just going to die off, right? It's just that we're going to have more options and more variety to continue having fun with. And maybe along the way, we find a new deck, that beats, 3 out of the best 4 decks. 4 out of the best 5 decks, something like that. But I'm very excited about this set, for sure. Shaman and Tough Cape S tier deck. I love it. What's going on, J Boogie? Oh yeah, I forgot. What are your thoughts on Combi? Forgettable is what I remember about Combi. Here, let me. Oh yeah. The call for family. So, I think I'm not ready to write it off yet. Because Call for Family is traditionally a pretty decent attack in Pokemon trading card game. So I'm not ready to call it bad yet. One day they'll print Life Dew and Starly will be mandatory for every deck. Bidoof not that good. No, Bidoof is terrible. But hey, we can have fun with it, okay? Let's see. I think Manaphy is going to work a lot better for these colorless decks as a RAM card. Yeah, you may be right. It's just glassy. That's the only thing, right? Pokecoms incoming. Yup. Every day I'm shuffling. The Reggies, Darkrai, and Giratina look underwhelming. I think Giratina may be nice as a pivot card in Mewtwo. Might be nice. And I think Darkrai EX and Weavile is really, really good. I am 100% ready to play some Weavile and Darkrai. By the way, yeah, thank you guys for subscribing. I've got shout out to Raygun, the infamous breakdancer from the Olympics, who was bullied into retirement. Unbelievable. I know the set hasn't even released, but surely Giratina EX is in the mini set. It's gotta be. No Empoleon EX. Yeah, I know. They broke that trend, man. They need to increase the deck max limit. Only 15 decks isn't enough. Dude, I know. I'm on a website that lets me build 25 decks, and I'm like, please give me more space. Yeah. Best still card with Dialga is Mew EX. I could agree with that. Yeah. Tauros isn't bad either, potentially. Let's see. Darkrai is pure dark. Why not weak to fighting? Probably something to do with lore, right? Mewtwo will never end. Put a cape on it. Yeah, you're right. Mewtwo got buffed with new rolls. That's also true. Pure Pure Dark is also weak to Bug. It's just one of the other. It would be weirder if they made his weakness Psychic, just because fairies are psychic types. Oh yeah, for sure. Top 3 decks. First thought. Yo, I'm a big believer in, until you thoroughly dethrone the king is still the king, and the king to me is Mewtwo, Pikachu, Gyarados. Like, Celebi's up there as well, right? Celebi's up there as well. I'm so late. I'll be watching from start at 2x speed. Hey, well, in the beginning, I probably get copyright flagged because I played music on accident. So yeah, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, let's get to this. Okay. Also, Garchomp getting full art but not Togekiss is injustice. Darkrai, a Redditor in the lore. Honestly, 30 cards is too early for now. In the future, when there's way more cards to help 30 cards, is Shaman any good? Yeah, I mean, it's cute, right? Like, if you want to play a full, like a big old heal deck, that'd be cool. All right, so let's get to the items and the trainers. We've spent enough time getting here. So this is the Skull Fossil. Play this card as if it were a 40 HP basic, and then it's going to be able to evolve. I forgot if it evolves into Bastiodon. Is that the one that evolves into Bastiodon? No, it's the other fossil. Anyways, so there's 2 fossils. So let's talk about this card. Let me take a sip of water. I'm like chugging water for the first time in like this whole stream. All right. So in the paper TCG, you get to select what card you get with Pokemon Communication. However, in this, they did change it, and they made it to... Oh, dude. I don't know if... Did they just insert an ad? Is that what just happened when I'm talking about the one card in the deck that people want to know about? Or the one card in the set that like people are like super hype about? So let's talk about Pokemon Communication. My first thoughts are this card is probably best played in a deck where you're playing bulky EXs or powerful stage 1s. Okay? So if you're playing like Starmie EX and like, you know, Articuno EX, like Pokemon Communication probably up your alley, right? Because it like hopefully gets it to where you can find your Starmie EX early, right? You're only playing 6 Pokemon. Another way to play this card is to play 1 basic and 2 of the stage 1. So basically you're playing 1 Execute and 2 Executor EXs, and you're like, hey, I'm going to find my Executor EX, right? And then obviously you play like 2 other basics with it. So like you're playing 5 Pokemon. So, but I think that Pokemon Communication is going to be best in decks where you play low amounts of Pokemon that you need to see very soon. Does that make sense? Like, you definitely want, you know, like, let's just throw an idea out there. Let's say that we want to play Executor Serebii, right? Well, the biggest strength of that deck is getting Executor EX very early. So I'm willing to play 6 Pokemon and fill my deck up with 14 trainer supporter tools. So that way I can hopefully, you know, Pokeball, you know, get 2. So now 2 of my basics are out, but I can send 1 back and hopefully find Executor EX, right? Like, I think that's the best way to approach this card. And 100%, I think that the decks that can play this card will be good. Okay? Now, what about decks like Mewtwo? Do you play this over Mythical Slab? See, now we're really cooking, right? Because Mythical Slab is maybe a 1-for-1. Okay, maybe. At worst, it's a -1. You may be putting a card at the bottom of your deck that you kind of wanted to see. With Pokemon Communication, it's an automatic -1. But the flip side is, you're for sure getting a Psychic type Pokemon out of your deck, right? So, are you willing to play a card that's a little bit of a gamble in Mythical Slab? Or would you rather play Pokemon Communication where you are for sure taking a -1 and losing some card advantage, but potentially pulling a piece of your combo, right? A piece of your evolution line. Like, that's fascinating. Again, like the way that I play Slab, I never play Slab until I need to. Like, dude, I will open turn 1 with Mythical Slab, and I will not play it sometimes until like turn 17. Okay? All right, that's an exaggeration. Until like turn 7 or 8. Because the way that I think about Slab is I want to use Slab whenever it's going to help me advance my game state. So if I have a Ralts and a Mewtwo, and I have a Gardevoir in hand, but I have no Curlia, I will rip the Mythical Slab like very early, okay? On the flip side, if I have a Mewtwo and a Ralts and a Curlia, I will actually hold on to the Slab until after I have actually put down the Curlia and a turn has passed. That's the way that I approach playing Mythical Slab. I want to try to use it when it's going to help me advance my game state. And the way that I see some people play Mythical Slab is they see it, they just rip it. And I don't know if that is correct. So that's why I choose to play Mythical Slab the way that I do. So because of that, like, me taking out Mythical Slab for Pokemon Communication in my Mewtwo deck is a little iffy, right? Like, if I'm going to take Mythical Slab out for anything, it's going to be for Cape. So my Mewtwo, like, is even tankier. But like I said, in other decks that are playing 5 Pokemon, 6 Pokemon, 4 Pokemon, dude, Pokemon Communication might be the absolute nuts. Hey, one question that I do have, do you guys think that you can shuffle back fossils? I mean, it's a trainer, right? So, like, you can't do that. It's only a Pokemon when it's on the field, right? So it definitely won't work like that. But that would be cool if it would, right? But again, that's just my thoughts on Pokemon Communication. Again, I think decks that want to see Starmie EX early, decks that want to see Weavile early, hint, 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 decks that want to see Exeggutor EX early, I think 100% you want to look at trying to fit Pokemon Communication in it. I think it's a good card. But again, I just don't know that every deck is going to get the most value out of it, right? Hey, I'll give you some cookage. Some people have talked about Chateau and Infernape. So the idea is you use Shadow, or Chateau, however you want to pronounce it, right, to refill your hand, and you're constantly playing cards. So the -1 on Pokemon Communication doesn't impact you as much because you're just going to Chateau, right? You're going to shuffle your hand back and then match your opponent's hand. So there's a little bit of cookage with it. Pokemon Communication and Chateau, definitely some good synergy. Hey, Pokemon Communication and Caterpie, decent synergy. And again, that's a grass Pokemon, right? So maybe it fuels the argument for, more stuff like Exeggutor EX, right? So just something to cook with. Let me catch up with chat because I know that's a very big topic, right? Very big topic. Let's see. I think Communication is going to be best with Celebi, Superior, and Gyarados EX. Okay, yeah, fair, yeah. Maybe a Bastion on deck. You could just play it in Gyarados and Mewtwo with guard, ramp up the Surging already busted by Slab. Yeah, I mean, it's just, where's the room? Like, Mewtwo and Gardevoir already has a space issue. So what are you taking out, right? What are you losing? It's my egg and I want it now. Could fix a dead Pokeball slab for sure, for sure. Pokemon communication is a random Pokeball. Yeah, but it's for any Pokemon, right? So like, hey, yeah, it's not just basics, right? It could be stage 1s or stage 2s. Saving slab gets better odds to draw. In the case you do brick. I do play mythical slab before oak or Pokeball, less chance of whiff. Chateau, dude. It's okay. You can be that guy all you want. All right, it's all good. Yeah. Slab before oak and Pokeball is like a whole different conversation for sure. And like you're probably right about that. I'm just saying like I try to hold it as kind of like my main point. Okay, so I've already talked about these in my video. These are 2 items that we're gonna see a lot of. Rocky Helmet, which is really, really good. And like you're gonna love it on bulky Pokemon that have, 150, 160, 180 HP, whatever. And you're gonna love it on your Farfetch'd and your Pokemon that are like they hate attacking. Oh no. Screen went black. Okay. They hate attacking. Because like, dang it, dude, I gotta attack this Farfetch'd. It's gonna deal 20 to me, and then they're gonna attack me for 40. Like that's annoying. So I think there's stuff like that that's gonna have synergy with Rocky Helmet. And then Giant Cape, again, like, dude, Giant Cape is just good. It's just you gotta figure out where it fits, right? Like, obviously it's gonna fit in Mewtwo. Does it fit in Pikachu? I don't know. Does it fit in decks with Exeggutor, or would you just rather play Rocky Helmet? That's the question, right? So yeah, I mean, Giant Cape, Rocky Helmet, get ready to see a lot of it because it will be in a lot of decks. Cyrus, we've already sort of talked about in the video. Again, for decks that are playing snipers, Hitmonlee, Zebstrika, now Honchkrow, Luminion, Greninja. Dude, all those decks are going to love Cyrus. They're going to love Cyrus. Like Pikachu definitely is going to love Cyrus. At least the way that I'm seeing it. So be out on the lookout for Cyrus because it's a pretty good card. Team Galactic Grunt. Put 1 random Glameow, Stunky, or Krognuk from your deck into your hand. How good is Toxicroak, right? That's the question. How good is Toxicroak? I'll probably play this in my Toxicroak deck. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll probably play it. I probably will, and I'll probably regret it. But hey, it's okay. But yeah. Let's see. So Dawn and Mars are 2 trainers that we haven't talked about yet. Dawn is just straight up good. Like Dawn might be so good it's played in Pikachu. Dawn is so good it might be played in Mewtwo. Like straight up, right? Like Dawn is just good. I could see it being a one-of in all of those decks. Dude, Dawn is so good it may be played in freaking Gyarados, okay? Dawn is just good. It's just a good card. It's going to enable cards like Infernape to consistently deal 140. There's a situation where you may deal 140 with Infernape 3 turns in a row. That's devastating for like every deck. So yeah, Dawn, probably a 2-of in every Infernape deck. Dawn is really good. Dawn and Moltres, great synergy. Dawn, Leaf, Moltres, Infernape. There you go. Cook. Go have fun, right? Dawn is very good. Dawn is Energy Switch, but it's supporter form. And Energy Switch is super popular for aggro decks in Pokemon, the trading card game, on paper. Okay? Like, it's historically been very good for aggro decks. I don't expect that to be any different. Dawn is just a card that's just good in probably most aggro decks. Expect to see a lot of Dawn. It's really good. Okay? Like, there's not a lot of decks that are going to be like, yeah, don't really like Dawn. Like, most decks are going to like Dawn. It's just going to be whether or not they need to make room for it or whether or not they can, right? But again, Infernape, Dawn, Moltres, go cook. Go have fun. Have a blast. Play Leaf, right? You're going to cook. What about Dawn and Dialga? D&D, right? There you go. You know, you got so much to cook with, right? Like it's just good, guys. Like it's just good. Very exciting supporter. Like shout out to them. And like the thing that I keep preaching is that they seem to make really, really good item cards into supporters. That seems to be the theme. So yeah, I do like Dawn quite a bit. Dawn is really good. I think Dawn is going to be a card that you're going to really enjoy playing if you play decks that can actually support it. Mars. Your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck and draws a card for each of their remaining points needed to win. So you just knock out my EX. On my turn, I play Mars. You're down to one card. Nice. You see why this card could be good, right? So it's just a space issue. How do you fit one Mars into your deck? Because Mars is so good that it can turn games around. Mars is really solid. It's a space issue. How do you find space to play a card like this? Because with a 20 card deck, dude, you don't have a lot of space, man. Like, you just don't have a lot of space, you know? You're already playing 2 Pokeball, 2 Research. Yeah, so you're playing with 16 spots. Oh, you're playing an aggro deck? Well, you got to play Research, or you got to play X Speed. Okay, so now you're playing with 12 spots, or excuse me, 14 spots. You know what I mean? Like, then you got to play your Pokemon, right? Like, that's 4 more spots gone. Yeah, you're down to what? 12 spots in your deck? 10 spots in your deck? So, like, how do you realistically fit a card like Mars in your deck? That's the biggest problem with this card. Because I'm telling you, when you can send your opponent to 1 card in hand because they just knocked out your EX, that's a comeback card, right? Like, they could be thinking, hey, I'm winning, I'm doing great, and then you like Mars and Marshadow them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can Mars and then like, bring in a sweeper or something, like that's devastating. That's tough to come back from. Even Mars to 2 isn't bad, right? So yeah, Mars is great. It's just, how do you find room for it, right? Like, how do you make room in your deck of 20 cards for something like Mars? It's going to be the most difficult part. And I know people will be quick to compare it to Red Card. And obviously, like, the big difference is, hey, one's a supporter, one's an item. The other difference is, like, Mars will punish your opponent down to 1 card. Like, that will be a thing, right? And Red Card is always going to be, your opponent's hand is going to be 4 by the time they draw. With this, they're going to be to a 2 or 3 card hand, depending on what it is on their turn. So, yeah, you just... It's just, again, how do you find space for Mars? And then, like, are you playing a deck where you're going to give up 2 points? Because if you're playing 1 prizers, it gets a little tricky, right? It's a little tricky. So, but I think Mars is decent, man. Like, I would be willing to say that this is a pretty good card. It's just, like I said, for the 17th millionth time, how do you find room, right? So yeah, we've got some really cool cards in the set. I think the set is going to be great. For those who may have jumped in late, the set will be live in about 22 hours and 25 minutes. Okay. And trading is already live. You need to go to the App Store and update the app. And also, I just want to say thank you for tuning into this live stream. Again, I don't do this normally on here. I usually have, Twitch going. I can play some music. But obviously I know that a lot of my audience is on YouTube, so I was very happy to try this out for you guys. And, hey, I'll check chat as we kind of run through some of these full arts and check out some of this incredible artwork. Let me know your favorite art in the chat. But yeah, let me go ahead and catch up with chat really quickly. Let's see. Dude, chat's popping off today, man. Appreciate y'all. again, thank y'all a lot for jumping in here and just hanging out. Chateau. See, I'm practicing. Are we cooking some banger decks, my dude? For sure. Always, bro. Always. Yeah, burn does 20, coin flips for attack. So basically, if you're confused, you flip a coin before you attack, or like before you deal damage. And if it's heads, the attack goes through. If it's tails, it fails, and your turn just ends. Rocky Helmet is amazing on anything that has 100 plus HP. Yeah, Rocky Helmet Dredagon. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, right? Some cards benefit way more than others, like Weavile. Dredagon's your energy 40 damage. Jose, I think Rocky Helmet and Dredagon will stack if it's in the active. Let's see. Curious to see if gameplay speed up slows down or remains similar. Yeah. I think Helmet would be better on Egg since it's supposed to wall anyways. Yeah, you might be right, honestly. And like it could change damage too. Like you may need, one less heads coin flip with Rocky Helmet. Cyrus is gonna break aggro decks for sure. Cyrus and Pikachu is just annoying. Cyrus and fighting decks gonna be annoying. Yeah, Rocky Helmet and healing. Yeah, or Rocky Helm Executor and healing for sure. You heard of Red Card, but have you heard of Red Card 2? Supporter edition. Yeah, I hear you. Dawn is definitely insane. Dawn and Moltres for sure. Dawn combos are gonna go off for sure. Dawn with Raichu and Surge. Okay. Cooking. Some cookage. Dawn Darkrai. Yeah, dude. Dawn, Darkrai, Weavile. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Only caveat is that you can't Dawn and Leaf in one turn. For sure. I'm not repeating that. Hurts some of the 2 retreat fire types. Bangers, what about Rocky Helmet and Executor EX? So much pressure while you build something else on the bench. Yes. Like, hey, somebody in the Discord that I'm in joked around that Venusaur Executor is back. So I'm all the way down. Dawn Manaphy, I'm cooking. Let's see. Mars seems like bait to me, actually. Again, I don't think it's going to be for every deck, but I think it might be solid. Like, the only reason why Mars, to me, is any kind of potential is because I played the trading card game on paper when N was legal. And N was a supporter that said, your opponent shuffles their hand in their deck and draws cards equal to the prizes that they have remaining, or whatever. And so, like, they would, you would see these people make these big plays where they would like sort of like pop off, right? But then they would only have like 2 prizes left and you would just end them, and then all of a sudden you're back in the game and counterattacking them. Seems like a win more card. Hey, maybe it is. Definitely better than Red Card, but Red Card is a good example of why I think it's not going to be great. Dang, that's deep. Pokemon communication is best in decks with evolution lines in the physical trading card game. Well, hey, keep in mind, in the physical trading card game, you get to select the Pokemon, right? And here it's random. So if you have less Pokemon or just a couple basics, you have less need for it. I actually disagree. Yeah. I actually disagree. Like, I'm playing a low Pokemon count with Pokemon communications, so that way I can find my Executor or my Starmie or my Weavile faster when I use communication. That's my first thought. I may be completely wrong, but as of right now, that's where I stand. Most decks are set up and win, so Mars has less value. Maybe you're right. Dawn with Cat Evolution. Cut Potion, it's not that hard. Talking about a Mewtwo? Yeah, I could see that for sure. Or in Pikachu. Yeah, because Pikachu's playing Potion in most versions. But some Mews are playing one as well. But mostly Pikachu. Mars could be fun once we get some self-KO cards. Ooh, that's dirty. Just realized Mars, her hair is the Team Galactic symbol. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure, like, in the paper trading card game, at like one point it was like Team Galactic Mars or something like that. That was the name of That was the name of the card in the paper. Trading sucks. Yeah, trading. Wait till tomorrow to trade, okay? I will always be here for you, President Banger. Yes, let's go. Let's go. I'm here for you. Trading way too expensive. Yeah, no doubt. It's 29. It's 29. Is it out for me yet? Valentine. It's going to be about 22 hours and 18 minutes until the new set is out. But trading is able to be done right now. Just update your phone. Or update the app on your phone. Excuse me. You're the only YouTuber that spits facts and remains humble. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, thanks, Jay Boogie. As always, appreciate y'all tuning in. 2 cards for 1 would be okay. They're forcing 5 for 1 and 4 for 1. Way too expensive trade. Anyways, immersive Palkia is easily the coolest art. My favorite art is the Shaman. I'm pretty relieved I don't care for too many cards or arts in the new set. It's much less a to hunt for. For sure. Yeah. I could see that. Gengar is going to be good now. Ooh, spicy. In was a pretty famous card when it was in rotation. Oh, yeah, dude. Everybody that played the trading card game, they knew In, right? Like, if you played during that era, for sure. Gengar Psyduck might be good now, for sure. I think there's a card like Mars right now, but I don't follow TCG. MBB, where you been? Myth, I've been making videos. I made a video today. I was streaming with Ursi on Sunday. Yeah, hey, I've been cooking. Can you use Deck Builder to get some decks going? Yeah, let's do that. We'll try that out. Really hyped for Rodent. I don't care if he's meta. I always just loved him. Heck yeah. Still waiting for the soul patch. I'm dead. I think another problem with Mars is that you have less wiggle room with the amount of prizes you need to win the game. Yeah, like it's a window, right? Like you need it to be in your hand when they knock out your EX, right? Hey guys, give a like on the video. 100 people in chat, only 20 likes. Dude, there's only 20 likes? What? Unbelievable. I like the stream here. I'm leaving. Good night, my man. Take it easy. You're usually the Yap God, but haven't seen you around the Discord for a minute. Oh, dude. I'm Yap Bangers. Might just mean Mars is broken in non-EX decks because applying it for 2 cards is much better for decks that don't die the next turn. Damn, that's a good point too. Okay, really quick, let's check out some of the art and then we'll move on. Tangela looks pretty gnarly. Dude, actually, this looks sick. Yeah, that looks sick. Combi looks sick. Carnivine, these. Oh, dude, the Shaman does look dope. Okay, Shaman. Yeah, not bad. I like the Mamoswine. I think the Mamoswine looks dope. That's got the whole fam with them and stuff. Yeah, that's dope. This looks like somebody was tripping. But it's technically supposed to be like coral reefs, I guess. So, that's not bad. Manaphy. Dude, Manaphy, give me that. That's so cute. Yes, give me Manaphy. Oh my gosh, what? The Shinx is adorable, dude. Yeah, Shinx is one of my early favorites, for sure. Rotom looks dope. Drifloon looks kind of cool. Usually it looks like more creepy, right? Meesprit, dope. Giratina, insane. Cresselia, insane. Rhyperior looks pretty dope. Lucario looks pretty dope. Holy moly. I skipped right over the Hippopotas because this Spiritomb is tripping me out, dude. That's tripping me out. I don't know how I feel about that. It's crazy looking. Dude, oh, the Krogo. Yeah, I'm probably going to pull 17 of these, so I might as well like them, you know? Might as well like them. By the way, appreciate you guys subscribing. Appreciate that. All the likes, the subscribing, the thumbs up, much appreciated. Heatran looks a little weird. It's got like Mag Cargos and Skarmories in them, and like Rhydons. Or I guess that's crazy looking, dude. That's just like actually crazy looking. Garchomp full art. I don't know how I feel about that. Staraptor, The Bidoof is the legend. Glameow, okay. Regigigas, okay. Yanmega, damn, dude. Yanmega looks dope. Oh, snap. Infernape, dude. Yo, is that a shiny Pachirisu? Is that shiny? Is that what that color scheme is? It's shiny? Or has it always been blue? Am I tripping? Miss Magus, again, one of the cards that I'm excited for. So yeah, I like that art. Gallade looks dope. Weavile looks dope. Darkrai looks dope. All of these look dope, dude. Like, all of these look great. The full art trainers look fantastic. The waifu lovers are gonna love Dawn and Cynthia. Cyrus looks like a Chad. Volknor looks pretty tight. Okay, not bad. And then Mars. Mars looks a little scary and intimidating, which is not bad, you know. Yanmega, that's a cool art. Dude, hold on. Yo. See, art like this makes me so excited for Blaziken. So excited for Blaziken. Like, please give me Blaziken art like this. Pachirisu. So is that shiny? How do I feel about Rampardos and Lee? I think I'm just gonna have to play Rampardos because that stage 2 is tough. Stage 2 is tough, you know? Like, and it's a fossil. Heatron's the best. The full arts are fire. I'm more convinced now that the mini set A2 will be Heart Cold, Soul Silver. LSD. I think Heatron 1-star is supposed to represent it being equivalent to Pokemon's planetary core. Damn, that's kind of deep, Kurt. It's kind of deep. Considering the bookshelves, I think it's supposed to be Cynthia's Garchomp. Rainbow Infernape is really cool. Yeah, I agree, dude. Infernape doing the John Cena "You Can't See Me" with that free retreat. To Sun Wukong, dude. Yes, bro. I see it. Which is interesting because, you know, Japanese, right? And Sun Wukong is like Chinese. The Licky Licky. Yeah, that would scare me. That would absolutely terrify me. Miss Magus looks great. Gallade looks great. The rainbow arts are insane. I mean, dude. Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't like the color scheme on the Palkia, but the Dialga. Oh my god. Please give it to me. Hold on, before we look at the deck builder. And then obviously the crown rares, which the immersives look 17 million times better, but we won't debate that. So what pack am I going for? Hold on. So this is Palkia. So Palkia has Infernape. Obviously Palkia, Manaphy. It has Miss Magus, and it has Giratina, and it has Weavile. And it has, but no Toxicroak. Okay, I get maybe Toxicroak in both. I don't know. Bastiodon. Damn it, it has Licky Licky. And then it has Rocky Helmet and Cyrus. Okay. I don't know how many cards that is, but let's take a look at Dialga. Okay, Dialga. Yeah, Mega is decent, but I could live without it. Pachirisu, I kind of want. Dude, did they split up? Okay, no, they didn't. Okay. Oh man, I want Lucario. Damn it. They're gonna get me, chat. I want Rampardos and Lucario, but they're gonna be easier to pull. Oh my god, I want Darkrai. Okay, so Darkrai and Weavile are in 2 different packs. Dude, that's illegal. That is, and Bidoof isn't. Okay, yeah, this has got to be the. And Pokemon Communication. Dang, dude. Dang. And it's got the Gallade. And it's got the Dialga because it's the Dialga pack. Dude, I think I got to go Dialga. I think I gotta go Dialga. Damn it. So I'm gonna need Miss Magus. I'm gonna need Weavile. I'm just gonna have to pull from both somehow. But those are really the only cards that I need that are EXs from this pack. I mean, obviously I would love Palkia, So that's 3 EXs. And over here, we won't count Yanmega yet. I mean, I wouldn't mind Pachirisu. I wouldn't mind Gallade. I really do want Darkrai. Man, this is difficult. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, chat. I don't know which one I want, really. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, Infernape, Mismagius, Weavile. But the thing is, I can't play Weavile without Darkrai. I can play Mismagius with anything. I can play Palkia with things that I already have. But I really want Lucario and stuff too. Like, if I pull really well from Dialga, I can switch to Palkia. I think the plan, and then the Ralts line, the Curlia line, I want that for the other decks. Honchkrow, Toxicroak, Pokemon Communication. Yeah, I think I gotta go. But I can just craft the rares if I open up enough packs, right? Like, how many EXs do I realistically want? I have to get Darkrai. Man, this is tough, dude. They did a good job spreading it out. I'm actually confused on what to go for. You have to pull both for Weavile and Dark. Yeah, I just realized that. It's gonna be tough to have to choose between funding my greedy water brain with the Palkia pack or try to get the broken dark types. Yeah. How much damage does Mamoswine do? I feel like by the time your opponent knocks out your EX. Yeah, you're right. Hold on, let me pull up the Mamoswine for you, and then. Yeah, Mamoswine does 120 for 4 energy. And then its ability is it takes less damage. Okay. So, how about this? Do they have all the cards in here yet? Damn, dude, they do. Okay, so I'm going to cook like 1 or 2 decks, and then we'll call it a stream. So I know that I want to play those 6 Pokemon, right? So now the question is, oh yeah, good point, by the way. With the dark event, I forgot about that. So now the question is, what are the trainers that I play? Yeah, I mean, I'm just probably not playing those cards just because I don't think that they're like necessarily super competitive. Let me turn hover on so I can make sure I get the retreat cost right. So 2 retreat, 2 retreat, 1 retreat. Okay. So I know that I want to play these 10 cards, right? And then the question is, Dawn, right? So I have room for 8 more cards. So Do I care to play something like a Giovanni? Probably not. Do I care to play Cape? Cape would take my Pokemon out of range of being one-shot by Mewtwo. Rocky Helmet would also put in some work. I probably need cheaper attackers if I'm going to play more Pokemon. Do I want to play Sabrina? Do I want to play Cyrus? I mean, do I just play Greninja? Call it a day? You know what I'm saying? Like Greninja Cyrus? If I play if I play that, right? Like Cyrus, Sabrina, X-Speed, Farfetch'd. Oh shit, I forgot about Honchkrow. Okay, hold on. Honchkrow, right? It's got to be Honchkrow, right? It's got to be Honchkrow Leaf, if that's the case then. Like it's got to be... It's got to be something like this. You see what I mean? Because like you can lose the energy on Weavile when you retreat if you end up pivoting out of it. Like that's fine. But you want to have Leaf for Darkrai being stuck in the active or Honchkrow being stuck in the active. And it's only 6 supporters. I think Cyrus sort of fits, right? Like I could very well see myself playing Cyrus and like maybe an X-Speed. Yeah, like I'm thinking Cyrus X-Speed is probably like the last 2 slots. I'm thinking that could be a good starting point. And like ultimately it may be get rid of the Honchkrow line and then like add Farfetch'd, add Giovanni, add X-Speed, 2-1-1, right? So like at the end of the day, it's either going to be this, which I'll save this. It's either going to be this or like I'm going to end up saying, okay, sniping doesn't matter. Give me, you know, Farfetch'd. Oh, whoops. Give me Farfetch'd, give me Speed, and then give me Giovanni. Yeah. Like it'll end up being like this. You know what I'm saying? So it'll either be this or like I said, the original version that I just had up here with Honchkrow and Murkrow. Okay, so there's one that we'll play around with if we can hopefully get our hands on the cards. Jolteon, Leafeon, Hyper Aggro with Pokemon communication. I don't know how you'd play it because of the energy system. Like, that's what bugs me the most. But speaking of Leafeon, yeah, I guess give me the basic, easiest 20 damage. And we'll cook with Lucario in just a second. Give me 1 second. See, like, to me, this is a deck I want Pokemon communication in. So I want Rocky Helmet to punish them for attacking me. Let's see. I want X Speed. I mean, actually, I want Leaf. Yeah, I want Leaf and Erica, right? So I have 4 spots left. Yeah, Leaf and Erica. So like this is kind of a way that I would probably play around the idea of using Pokemon communication and finding a way to take advantage of the quick tempo that Leafeon has. So like ideally I open Leafeon or I open Egg into Executor. And hopefully I have Rocky Helmet. Yeah, I'll play around with this. Grass, aggro. Again, this is just like assuming that I can actually get these cards. Dude, I'm already capped at the number of decks. Okay. So we'll delete some of these. Bro. Yeah. No, we're not playing that deck ever. Probably not playing that deck either. Okay, I don't need to know all the Dialga targets anymore. And I don't need to know all the... This is the Egg Venue deck that I had cooking before we got the rest of the set. Now, I don't know how I'd fix that. Honestly, I don't know. Okay, so... All right, let me check chat again. So that's 2 decks that I'm kind of curious to play with. Is the idea to cycle between your 2 Leafeons? I mean, the idea is to be just aggressive with whatever grass-type Pokemon you can find, right? So, like, I'm either going... My idea is to either open up with Executor or Leafeon. If I open up with Leafeon, I want to attack with Eevee, evolve into Leafeon, and then immediately pivot into Executor. That's the plan with Leafeon. It may suck. It may suck. Dawn technically counts as Giovanni because of Darkrai. A 1-1 split. Egg seems weak because of retreat cost. Yeah, probably. Yeah, attack with Leafeon with Rocky Helmet. They get punished if they attack, and you swap to another one. Yeah. I mean, the problem is you're probably not going to have 2 Leafeons ready to attack. Like, at least like super early. Probably not. Hey, actually, I know we've already cooked Lucario a little bit, so let's cook this. Let's cook this. Because this I am very curious on. You're playing Leaf. You're playing Dawn. Okay, let's get the other does out of here. You're playing those. What's the other fire? Are you playing Growlithe? Are you playing Growlithe Arcanine? What other fire types are you playing? That's the question, right? I don't think you change anything in the trainers. If you're so what else are you playing here? Yeah, the rainbow rares are insane. And yeah, Diego, you're right. You go from Leafeon to Executor is the goal. And you play the Pokemon communications to hopefully find the Executors easy. Or easier. Magmortar. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, Infernape does need Giovanni, huh? I mean, okay, so I guess let me push back on that a little bit. Maybe I don't. Maybe they're going to be playing Cape anyways. And so I'm going to need to two-shot it, like, almost no matter what. I mean, how is it not Arcanine? How is it not Arcanine? That's the problem that I'm running into. You're just playing like cheaper, more flexible Charizard, it seems like. How is this not Arcanine? Rotom Heat? Really? You think so? Where's that? Where's it at? Nah. 9-Tails is a little faster. Well, 9-Tails I'm never going to have enough energy. And I don't even have room for Blaine. Like, everything in my estimation says it's Arcanine. Like, it's either Arcanine or, yeah, it's Rapidash. And, like, that doesn't feel good. Is there any colorless attackers it could be? I mean, no, right? Because, like, Moltres. So, yeah, I mean, it's got to be Ninetales, or excuse me, it's got to be Arcanine, isn't it? Salazzle, Volcarona, the real cook. You guys just want to make me lose? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Nah, I don't think it's Salazzle either, because you don't want it to just die. I thought about Farfetch too, but it's not fire, so it doesn't work with Moltres. Flareon for the spice. Oh no. I think it's just gotta be Arcanine. I don't know that Cape makes anything better except maybe Moltres. mean, Magmortar just doesn't do any damage. Dude, like, I don't know why I'm fighting it, but I'm sitting here fighting the fact that it's got to be Arcanine. Like, I think, like, this is... It just sucks because, like, it's just, like, not really a new deck, right? Just run 4 basic and 2 communications. I mean, you know what? I could probably get away with playing Magmar and 2 communications. I probably could. My caped Venusaur gonna laugh at you? Oh, no. No. It doesn't matter. I'll just 2-shot you then. We'll be fine. Yeah, like, this is the other idea, right? Maybe we'll try this off the top. Maybe we'll try this off the top. Where's the trainers at? Release date. Yeah. Maybe we'll try this first. Just because we want to play new cards and see how they are. Infernape. So, if you really wanted to cook, you know, you would do something like this. Right? You would do something like this. The only reason the new Magmar is what I'm thinking of is because, like, I just ramp it and then I leaf out of it. Right? I ramp it, I leaf out of it. This might be better though. This might be better because I'm either attacking with Chateau or I'm attacking with Moltres. Is the best idea. If playing Infernape, play Charizard better. I mean, it's different, right? Like, I mean, it's pretty clear that it's different, right? Like, first of all, Charizard, like, you have to ramp it. I don't have to ramp Infernape, right? I don't have to ramp it. I mean, it would be helpful if I could, right? Okay. And then, because we have to, we'll do one more. Again, thank y'all for coming by and hanging out. Appreciate y'all. Much appreciated. I don't even think I have room. I think I actually have to cut something here. Yeah, I don't have room. That's the first cut that I can think of. This is probably a deck that I want to play as well. One Hitmonlee kind of scares the hell out of me though. Like, I just don't know how this deck deals with Gyarados. So, okay, yeah. So the game theory behind this is that, say I go first, right? Like, going first traditionally is like really bad for this Mankey, right? However, with Cape, I can put Cape on my Mankey and now it's 70 HP. So my opponent's probably not attacking it, right? When they go first, or when they go second. So my Primeape survives 70 HP clean. You know, my turn, I can attach an energy to it, and I can attack and put myself at 50 HP. Or excuse me, 60 HP. Still pretty good range. Or if they're a deck that like has the ability to deal 60, I don't do that, and I just evolve straight to Primeape, right? So now my Primeape is sitting there with 1 energy, and it's sitting there with 110 HP. So now, goes to my opponent. My opponent's on their second turn. So what are they going to do? They're probably not going to be able to deal 110 right away. So they're either going to have to hit my Pokemon, and when they hit my Primeape, now I'm dealing 100. Okay? If they don't do that, and they just like don't attack, and they just like load something up on the bench, well then now my 110 HP Pokemon is going to attack them for 40 damage. And still they're stuck in the same situation of, hey, I have to one-shot this card, right? I have to one-shot Primeape, or next turn they're going to deal 100 damage to me. Now the other thing that boosts the Primeape damage is Lucario. So I may not even be doing 40, I may be dealing 60, right? So if I'm dealing 60 damage and they're just like taking it, right? At some point or another, they're going to have to deal with my Primeape. Now let's just say that like, okay, hey, if they are able to one-shot my Primeape, hopefully I'm able to go into Marshadow, right? Like hopefully I'm able to go into Marshadow. And now, you know, I've already dealt damage with the Primeape. Now I'm dealing 100 with Marshadow, and maybe 120 with Marshadow, depending on Lucario. Kind of the game kind of progresses from there. But that's kind of the idea behind the Genetic Apex Primeape and Cape. But some decks aren't going to be able to deal 60 and 70 damage on their, you know, turn one, even if they go second. I haven't traded a single person, so I'm probably not super helpful in that. But hopefully, I guarantee if you're in Discords, that can definitely be arranged for sure. Cyrus just to help bring things out, to knock stuff out. X-Beats to not lose any tempo of energy when I'm retreating. And everything else pretty self-explanatory. Anyways, so I think that's it, y'all. I think we've cooked enough, and surely we'll cook more in the stream. Badoof, 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 badoof. Maybe we'll play this deck first. That would be fun. But anyways, so hey, again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's been a great stream, just kind of running through the cards with you guys, and hopefully you guys had some fun. I know we've had a lot of people throughout the stream, so I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I look forward to catching you later on today. It's today for me, but again, thank you guys so much. And yeah, hey, I hear you guys on the trading element and like how some people are unhappy about it. And you know, hey, it's tough, man. Like the crazy thing is they've been working on it for like a year now too, like over a year it feels like. So, who knows, maybe it'll get better in a hurry. But I hope that you can at least enjoy the new cards, because the new cards do look like they open up a lot of fun, different decks. And, you know, hey, sometimes you just got to focus on the gameplay there and have some fun. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in, and I will definitely catch you later today or tomorrow, depending on where you are. And again, as always, thank you so much for letting me be background noise.